Hi, everybody. I want to introduce you to Crystal Andrus. I'm going to get her up here on the screen with me. Hello. You're coming. Okay, here
There
she
we
comes.
go.
Here she is.
Yay!
Yes. And I met her at a Louise Hay event in Toronto. How long ago was that, Crystal?
My goodness, I'm thinking 10 years ago.
I think so. I think so. I remember
Yeah.
you being a beam of light, and your story was very interesting to me. So if you could just tell our people a little bit how you came to be who you are now. She runs the SWAT Institute. You train coaches, but you've also really walked the talk in your own life. So if you could just give us a little
Sure.
rundown of that.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you
Yes.
so much for doing this, having this conversation with me today and with your world, because it's such an important conversation. And it's amazing how it all connects, you know. And so yeah, when I met you 10 years ago, um, well, I'm 49 now today, so I was still in my 30s. At that point, I think I was in my woman energy. That's, of course, why I would have connected with you, because birds of a feather flock together. So energetically, I was at a really powerful, strong place in my life. But I needed to teach empowerment. Funny enough, I'm just looking at one of the books that I wrote for Hay House. I did 3 books with Hay House. One of them was called Simply Empowered. And we often teach what we need to learn.
We
And
always teach what we need to
we
learn.
need to learn. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did the really quick Cliff's Notes version was my parents divorced at 12. There was a lot of sexual abuse, not from my father, but as soon as my parents split, there was just chaos. And my mother was very much in daughter energy. And I was very much in mother energy. I was in mother energy all my life, probably from the time I was little.
And
So I
that's
went
what
through
Crystal's going to teach us is what's
that's
daughter
right.
energy, what's mother energy, what's woman energy, because as long as you are operating as daughter or mother, you're never going to get to the most, how good can it get
How
life that
good
you
can it
want.
get? Yes. And when people
Yeah.
say things like, oh, like it's easy for you, it's like, well, no, I was homeless. I had cervical cancer at 17. Like, who gets that young? Probably from sexual abuse. That's the
Oh,
only way I can
definitely. No,
connect it.
definitely. Absolutely. That it is that the cervix is that, it's like a flashpoint, as it were. And it also,
Right.
by the way, the cervix represents the low heart. So it was
Right.
like your low heart was abused and
Yeah. And brokenhearted. I was
brokenhearted.
brokenhearted.
That's right.
And it was just a really tough time. I moved out at 15. I had a black garbage bag with my belongings in it, and for about 3 years I always found a place to sleep. But the one thing I had was school and a lot of pride and dignity, and I didn't let people know what I was going through. And I just always thought, if I can get my education and I can, like, it was a driving force for me. And 20s, it's like it's so amazing that I gained about 100 pounds when I got pregnant. And then I was in mother energy. It was almost like I was so afraid to be in daughter energy that my mother energy provided me with this big cozy blanket of protection. And that's how, and so mother energy formed when I had my little girls, who are now in their 20s and magnificent women in their woman energy. But I knew at a certain point in my mid 20s, I have to heal this, and I have to heal my stories, and I have to heal my wounds. And I really got to work with women like your work. You're my mentor.
Yeah.
Louise Hay was my mentor. She didn't even know it. Marianne Williamson, all the women who are now guest faculty members at the SWAT Institute.
That's
It's
right.
incredible. So
That's right.
yeah, so I did the work. I lost the weight, but I lost more than the weight. I really started to look at myself and my patterns and my stories and my behavior, how I was showing up. And by my 30s, very beginning of my 30s, I had a journal. I turned that journal into my very first book. And 6 books later, here we are.
That's right. And today we want everyone to know about your program, The Emotional Edge. And the emotional edge is, how do you know when you're in daughter energy, mother energy, woman energy? I, by the way, went to Oprah.com to take the quiz
Thank you.
to tell. So, and I thought it was very instructive. And one of the things that you and I talked about yesterday was the fact that when you are in anything other than the woman energy, if you're, older than 12,
Yes. Yeah.
then what happens is the daughter or the mother co-ops your immune, endocrine, and central nervous system, and the diseases that you get are actually related to the way you are running your energy, which has been my entire life's work, and that's what Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom is all about. So
and to think that I wasn't even, in fact, I wanted at the time when I first came up with this idea to connect it to health, but that I felt like I had no business connecting that way. I just really understood the psychology of how we were showing up. And it's more than emotional intelligence. It's your emotional age. It's how you're showing up.
That is so true. So how did you come up with the emotional age thing? Because it's spot on. It is spot on. And I have never seen it. Yeah, and I've never seen it explained that way. And in fact, because my my work recently has been about narcissistic personality disorder and dodging energy vampires and all that.
Yeah.
And so my community, hi everybody. Hi Teresa from South Africa.
Hi Marianne. There's Marianne from Norway. She's one of our SWAT students. I see Brenda Lee there. She's one of our SWAT students. Sharmila. She's originally from, I think, Pakistan. She might say, no, I'm not. My husband is. Sharmila, I'm seeing a lot of amazing women from our world. Our world is and Dr. Northrup, keep in mind, we have different level courses. We're talking about our first level, our emotional edge course, which really gives you the emotional edge. Then we have higher levels to certify women as empowerment coaches, but we use your work. When you become a master empowerment coach, we use your work. We use your books. We use interviews that I've done with you. So this is like a full circle moment for me 10 years later to be sitting here with you telling me that my work is spot on. It's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. Every woman, and I noticed, by the way, with the women who are with us here, Catherine, yes, the emotional age is groundbreaking. I agree. But women know this. This is
innately
part of our innate intelligence. And so when you see someone like Crystal or someone like me saying it, what happens is it just builds a bridge to your own, and then you trust yourself more. I think
it's so amazing that you're speaking the language that I thought I created.
I know.
Isn't that what's so incredible when you connect and you realize this is innate wisdom. And this is that is one of your most common words that you'll talk about, women's wisdom and the wisdom of menopause. Like I have all your books. I've learned from you, not even knowing that mother energy. And even when I started using the word energy, because this book, The Emotional Edge, and you can go on Oprah.com and take the emotional age quiz.
Which is really good.
Thank you so much. But even like for Oprah for me to have gotten, it was like, this is universal. It's somehow we all know it. So for me, I just coined it because it was so apparent to me. I would be working with women, supporting women. And I mean, from stay-at-home mothers to A-list celebrities. We all have these three personas within us. And when I first started using the word energy, this book was done with Random House. And they were like, can we just call it, parent archetype, child archetype, woman archetype, or adult archetype? And I was like, but it is an energy. It's an energy that you give off. It's an energy that you carry. It's a level of consciousness. So I was using those terms, but here's what's so magnificent is you break it down. It's like, it's physiological. Yeah. It's hormonal. So I think it's like hearing you talk about it is so exciting to me.
Well, so first of all, how did you come up with the ages? Because they are spot on. Oh, and by the way, we all say the same thing, but as Louise Hay would often say, we all say it slightly differently. So therefore, how I say it will work for a lot of people. How you say it will work for another group when we get the exact vibration right.
That's right.
We're all in this together. And my daughter has a book that I knew I must read, and it's called Post-Patriarchy Stress Disorder. And
isn't that it?
All of us who've grown up in this culture, and men too, by the way, because it's just as damaging to men, we have this thing where we've been trained to be a daughter. We've been trained.
That's right.
To be a mother.
Think about 100 years ago, if we were to read any of the books, because I have them all, women were literally called a drudge or a doll. You were either the mother who would take care of everyone, be the wind beneath everyone else's wings, be the supporter, carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. No wonder you gain weight in mother energy, because you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and everyone else's needs. You don't. So how did I come up with the 3? Well, I also knew that all the great thinkers, so I'm going to throw myself in that category, have broken the psyche into 3. So whether it was Freud, who was like, there's the id, kind of daughter energy, the superego, kind of mother energy, and the ego, kind of woman energy. And then there was Jung, who said, well, we have this ego, which is sort of your persona that's most dominant. So it might be mother, it might be daughter. Then you have the shadow. Well, that's actually the driving force of why we choose mother. We're maybe mortified by our sexy, coy, cute, dramatic, demanding daughter energy. And then the third part is this collective unconscious, which is what you're talking about, the innate wisdom as a woman. So I thought all the great thinkers, even Christianity says the Father, the Son, well, there it is, and the Holy Spirit, their spirit, your woman energy. So I just really connected and thought, well, it's not just father and son, it's mother, daughter. When we heal that split, we transcend almost into this energy that is powerful. We have to embody and heal our wounded mother energy. We have to heal our wounded daughter energy. Because when those 2 energies get healed, and we're not in a battle anymore of I'm showing up as a mother and even as a parent. It's a mistake to show up in mother energy when you're parenting your children, and most people think that's how they should. But I say, well, that's actually a mistake, because if you parent from mother energy, you're going to parent from guilt. You're going to parent as a martyr. You're going to parent as a rescuer, a perfectionist. I even call the mad scientist, where you forget about yourself. Like you're forgetting to take care of yourself because you're so passionate about healing the world.
Yeah.
On the flip side, your daughter energy is the part of you that is dramatic. It's the rebellious teenager. It's the coy, cute charmer. It's the warrior. It's the narcissist.
Yeah.
That you teach on.
Yeah.
That narcissist, and a little bit of narcissism when it's healed and not called narcissism, when it's called I matter, and that's healed, that's healthy. Yeah. So I kind of think of daughter energy as the most selfish part of us. Mother energy is the most selfless part of us. And when it's healed, we show up as our true, authentic self.
Which is perfect. So tell us, what would someone get in the Emotional Edge course?
Well, and thank you so much for believing in this course and for having this conversation today. You are, to me, the pinnacle of women's health and wellness worldwide. Like, you're the queen. So to be here with you is like, whoa, big deal. What were they going to get? They're going to get 12 weeks, because reading the book alone, yes, that's powerful. But one of the other things I've learned from you, Dr. Northrup, is community builds immunity.
Yes, you got it. I
learned about the crabs in the bucket from you.
Yep.
You know, I have been listening to you forever, and well, not forever, because you're only 33.
That's right.
Goddesses never age. I got that one too. So what are they going to get? 12 weeks with me. So we're actually on video. But the great part is I see you and you see all the students. So we're together, and we have women from all over the world. It's a safe place. We women, sometimes people say, is this anti-man? No, men have son energy. They have father energy, and they have their man energy. But this is a safe place for women to do the work together, to support each other, and week by week, because it's a process. We have to almost unlearn patriarchy. We have to unlearn the conditioning.
We do.
And we have to have someone. So we have a forum where not only are we live like this, and if you can't be live because it's 3 a.m. in your time zone, it's all recorded. You'll still feel like I'm talking right to you.
Yeah.
But what's fun is if you are on the call, it's fun because I put it on gallery view. Everyone usually puts it on gallery. So I'm talking, but I see all the women laughing. I see them when they're crying. I see when their eyes go, yeah, she's talking to me. We see each other. And then we also have this Facebook private forum where I'm giving you next steps, and I'm giving you a safe place to work your stuff out. Because we do have to, the other thing I've learned from you is we can't heal alone. We need someone to witness us and to validate us and to help us. And we don't need to put that on our public Facebook page. We don't need to,
No,
that's daughter energy.
That's
Daughter energy is going to write all her business about her life, her breakup, her relationships, her problems, her meal she made. She's going to take pictures of it. She's going to show everything. Mother energy probably isn't on Facebook. And if she is, she doesn't post a lot. She just looks at other people's stuff and then compares herself and goes, why, I'm never going to be good like them. So it's really healthy and it's fun. I love that you're laughing because the majority of the work is a lot of laughter, but we also examine all the emotions, you know, from shame and guilt and blame and sorrow and fear and desire and anger and pride and courage. And I just keep shifting women. And to be able to sustain woman energy, it takes practice.
Yeah, it's a high vibration. It's a very high vibration. And here's what I've learned, and that is that if everybody goes to YouTube after this and you want to go to the Metronome Experiment, just say metronome, and you'll see that when you can have 100 different metronomes, and if you start them off at all different, within about 3 minutes, they're all going like this. It's entrainment, and we entrain to the highest vibration.
I love that.
And so when you hold that vibration, which in your case, in anyone's case, oh yeah, good, is very hard won. It took you a long time to get to that vibration so that you can hold it. Yes. When you're in daughter energy or mother energy, what happens is anything on the news, anything that your kid brings home, anything that your husband says will lower your vibration.
Yes.
And set you up, by the way, with excess hormones, cortisol and epinephrine for stress disorders, for diseases, literally dis-ease.
Yeah.
So when you have a place to go, and then how often in that 12 weeks, is it once a week call?
So it's once a week. It's every Wednesday.
Yep.
Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 90-minute call. And believe me, we could talk like we're engaging. Sometimes we go live. Sometimes the other women, I'll say, does you have questions? We raise our hands. There's a lot of meditations. There's just, it's like we're tackling almost the physical. I even spend time just grounding, getting the feet really spread and grounded. We go through the chakras, like it's just so layered. Yeah. But really when it comes right down to it it's the way that we think, it's the way that we talk, it's the way we receive, it's the way we communicate, negotiate, compromise. It's really learning a new, more empowered way of communicating in the world. And when you change the way you show up, everything starts changing.
Everything. Corey was saying, Corey Thorne, good morning. She just went away on my feed.
The program is amazing and gave me the courage to step into my woman energy. And
when so one thing that I want to say right now, this year, 2020, if you have been operating under too much daughter energy, too much mother energy, I'm telling you, the universe is going to nudge you like a giant cow. It's going to push you to get out of that. So if you're watching this morning, if this came into your feed, if something is going, maybe this is your next step, because I know personally, my life has been changed most dramatically by when I've worked in women groups, in supportive women's groups. And those were much harder to find in the 80s and the 90s.
I bet.
Your group now, this is the way. This is the way that we have to go.
And it's so loving. Like everything is a trickle down effect. So when your leader comes from a very high resonating place, and I'm not trying to be like, but I am, and I hold space.
Right.
It's sacred. And every woman is included in that safe, sacred space. And there are women, this almost sounds outrageous, but there are women who have been following me for 10 years that have done the evolution of this course, what it has now become, 25 times. So they come back time and time again. So you not just have me, but you have this safe place of women from 45 countries.
Which is also amazing. So this is, I was on Michael Sandler's Vision Nation podcast, and he said, this is no longer the lone wolf where we're out there, or, my med
and
school
that's one of the
is,
archetypes.
Yeah.
The lone wolf
you can't.
No,
it is us together. And also, by the way, I don't think it's not anymore, oh, make it all better, mommy energy.
No.
There's a fierceness and boundaries.
Yeah, we do boundary setting. We teach boundary setting. We teach the when you, I feel, would you be willing? If not, there'll be consequences. And how do you create really appropriate consequences that you're not crazy? Daughter energy would be like, if you do that again, we're done. I know. And mother energy would just be like, well, it is what it is. What am I going to do?
That's right. Okay. So what would woman energy do?
Woman energy would have that conversation, and she wouldn't have this mentality of it's either confrontation or, it doesn't have to be it. You can learn to accept people, but not accept their behavior.
Right.
You can love someone from afar, and sometimes you have to hold space to say, I love you, and I'm holding space for this relationship. I'm not strong enough right now to engage in this kind of conversation, in this kind of, I need to get myself stronger. So it's always about you. I love that what we also teach is, and when women first come in, that's why I have to tread and pull them gently in the beginning to get them where they realize, because Dr. Northrup, I heal as much each time I do this as I think my women heal.
That's absolutely true.
I heal on a deeper level. I get stronger. I am higher resonating. I stay stronger in the truth. And I just keep mirroring that truth back to the women doing the course. What's beautiful is at the end of this course, if someone were to say, geez, this has blown my mind. Like I have women that say, I've been in therapy, and therapy is important too. But I have women that say, I've been in therapy for 30 years and I got more from this than 30 years of therapy. So I know that it works.
Yeah.
When I got the phone call that Oprah was sharing my quiz on Oprah.com, or whoever made that decision, I was like, thank you, universe, because it's clicking.
Yeah.
And it's healing and it's helping. So those women, if they do decide, I want to actually become an empowerment coach now, I want to become certified by the SWAT Institute. Okay. The number one. We are number one on Google worldwide. And I've never done a Google ad. So it's organic.
Right. That's what we like.
Okay. Never done a Google ad, and we're number one on Google worldwide. If you put empowerment coaching in, empowerment, women's empowerment, empowerment coaching certification. So if you do decide, we take the price of this emotional edge course off the certification. We also have a full 30-day money back guarantee. So do the first 4 classes. And if for any reason at the end of 30 days, you just think this isn't for me, you get all your money back. So there's really no lose except a deep healing within yourself. It's so powerful. I feel so excited about it, and so excited that it's clicking. And for someone as wise as you and knowledgeable, that you actually are talking the language I thought I created in the same, like that's truth, right? Truth. That's how you know
you're in the morphic field. And I believe that everyone, I like Melissa Moreno's comment, I've been working to get to the highest vibration and hope that if you don't rise with me, you will fall away. Don't bring me down. By the way, that does happen.
It does.
It does happen. In the old days, I used to have an address book. Now you have your phone, of course, or your computer.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me every January when I'd update to it, when I get a new address book, how many had fallen away.
I know.
That is the way it is. So just let me say it.
I was going to say, though, people will often say, but it's lonely at the top. Well, no, it's not congested. It's actually, you actually raise your circle. So you're in a smaller circle with other women who resonate at the same place as you. And it's actually exciting because you're not wasting your energy anymore trying to prove yourself or fit in or belong. And you're still holding space for anyone who's fallen away to join you in this place. And I used to really feel bad about myself. Like, why do I keep shaking people off? Like, what's wrong with me? But then you realize, because sometimes people are the crab in the bucket. They used to teach when crabs are climbing out of the bucket, the other crabs will go up. And I teach that everyone has their own hot air balloon. We all have our own.
We do.
And even your children have their own, even when they're 5 years old. Your job is to have them and support them. But at a certain point, you realize You have your hot air balloon. I have mine. We're all like, hi, we're floating high. And sometimes there's too much baggage in that. You got to throw your mom overboard. I hate to say it. You got to throw your sister overboard.
That's true.
You got to cut the cords, and you got to know how to do that, but do it in a loving way. Do it in a high resonating way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this has spoken to you today, sign up for the Emotional Edge course, which I am sponsoring. And that's why I brought Crystal on this morning. And I hope that you've learned something from this. At least go take the quiz at Oprah.com and follow the links. And thank you, Crystal. This has been wonderful to reconnect after 10 years. It is the time. We can no longer do this alone. No longer. It is time to rise together. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.